unveil Coach Kim as the head coach of the women national football team of Ghana.
Trip to Morocco later next week. They will be in Morocco for a number of days. We are hoping to secure other friendly games for the team aside the one against the Moroccan national team. Your questions, please. Okay, Akusia.
Please, can I ask two questions?
One. You can put the two together.
Okay. So my first question to Coach Kim would be how he made his mind about this Blackmen's job, being as he's not been to Africa, had an African team to coach before. And then the second one would be what his expectations are for the team, short term, long term.
Okay. I mean, I started, of course, to work in Sweden. From there, I had some successful years. I had a dream, like many other players had, to go abroad, and when I had the opportunity, I did that. So I worked in Asia as a coach in China, for example, technical director in Philippines. I've been winning the title in Cyprus. Worked in the US, one of the best leagues in the world, potentially the best. And I've been coaching hundreds of national team players. And I have met many players and coached many players from Africa, specific Ghana, maybe 6 or 7, something like that. They have always been good people, good football player, but people with the heart on the right place, I will say. And so when Ghana called, it was actually an easy decision to say yes to this job. I think, like I've said before, in football, you know how it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if you're doing the right things over time, if you work hard, if you're a professional, skillful, of course, then the results will be there sooner or later. And that's the job I'm going to do together with my staff and, the most important, with the players, of course. Right?
Okay, next question. The next one is what?
Specific strategies in order to improve our ranking.
Okay.
I mean, it's no easy ways, okay? It's about hard work. My job will be to travel a lot, get to know the people here in Ghana, of course, to watch many games, to have an understanding of the league, meet a lot of players, and it will start from today. But of course also to travel a lot, because many players are abroad, so that will be a part of my job. Of course, I watch all of the games that is possible, more or less, so far in videos, but it is a completely different thing when you meet the player in real life. Okay, so the hard work will start when I meet the players on the pitch, and then I think, like I said, the long-term target should be to drop down, and if it's like that we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to start with in the FIFA ranking, I don't know. It's out of my control. The only thing I can focus to do is to make sure that we work hard together, we do everything we can to win every single game, and so, like I said, hard work and to be professional is going to give us the result sooner or later.
Yes, I just want to find out, you've been traveling around the world, but how well do you know the African game, and what idea do you have about Ghanaian players?
Like I said, I've coached a few before. I've been follow the African football, especially the big tournaments. I haven't watched the league live yet, but that is something I'm looking forward to do. Like I said, it will start the job today, and we'll probably watch the game already tomorrow. I know, like the big stars in all the teams. I'm a coach that really like to see and meet people from different cultures. I think that's something that makes us strong, to be open-minded. One good example I had was when I coached in the US for Racing Louisville. We actually had the players from more or less like all the continents. We had players from China, we had players from New Zealand, from Australia, from Brazil, from Nigeria, from South Africa, from US of course, from Europe, all right? And I was a coach in the US from Sweden. So for me, I just think it's a strength when you connect with people from new countries and with new cultures. And I'm looking forward to learn and be a part of your culture. I know the DNA of the football here in Ghana is really important. It's not just about result. The result is very, very important in professional football, for sure. But it's also to play a beautiful football, to play the ball on the ground. And that is something we will not change. Of course, there are details that I think that we can improve. And otherwise, there's no reason for me to be here if I can't make the small details a little bit better. Okay.
Okay, last question. There are 3 hands actually. I saw. Okay, Lawrence.
Yeah, Coach. 2 years ago, the Ghana Football Association launched the women's football strategy. How much potential do you see in this strategy? And also, adding up to that question, what have you seen about this Black Queens team, and what potential do you see them having?
I already think it's a great mix of some players with experience and some young players that's coming up. So I think already now we're good enough to fight against the best teams and have a successful summer to start with. But also, like I said, from what I've seen from the younger teams, like the under 17, for example, there are so many really great players. But of course, if you are like 16, 17, 18 years old, you're maybe not ready today. But in a couple of years, they will be great, I promise you. As long as they work hard together with their coaches and teammates in the club teams, and they take the opportunity every time they have the chance to do something good for the national team here, then the future will be great, and I'm sure it will be.
Abigail, last question.
Coach, you're welcome. I count out these tactically your major assignment is in less than 136 days. So the question then is, what becomes our target after being absent on the women's competition since 2018? Are we going for the ultimate, or we are going to make sure we get a slot for the World Cup? And how are we getting all the girls in tune to your rhythm to get either of them done?
I mean, it's always a process. I mean, if you just focus, I know it's like a big tournament is on the way with the World Cup in Brazil, and that will be really important to make sure that Ghana will be a part of that tournament. Okay? But if we're only talking about that, then we're going to miss each day. And the job starts from now. We need to make sure that we improve a little bit every single day. Okay? So it's going to start with the first camp now in Morocco for me and the rest of the staff to get to know the players, and then we will start to building. We're going to do everything we can to make the people proud of the women's national team, the Black Queens, in the summer. But like I said, we need to make sure that over long term that we'll be at least like a top 4 team in Africa with absolutely potential to win the tournament, because we are good enough and we have talent player enough to be there and fight for the title. It's not going to be easy because we know there are other like countries that have the same goals and targets, but we are good enough to give it a real try. And for, like I said, to be top 4 in the next year's tournament and to guarantee that we play in the Brazil, that's a target for sure.
Okay, thank you, colleagues.